Central Oregon Daily in focus. So you love to ski or board and you're thinking, well, maybe I'll just join the Mount Bachelor Ski Patrol, serve the mountain community and get those free passes and access to the mountain at the same time. Not so fast.
It's a thought about 100 people have each season. A vast majority, 90%, never make it through the training process, partly because of the huge time investment. We're talking years. And that's just to become a volunteer.
Falling leaf underneath it.
You'll need more than skill.
Just like that.
And a love of the slopes.
Wow. Make sure you're looking uphill.
To earn this red jacket. Hop in. We'll show you what it takes to join Alpine Ski Patrol.
The volunteers and the pro staff, we work really closely together.
There are 2 patrolling units on Mount Bachelor. Pro Patrol, the paid, full, and part-time staff.
Morning.
They greet you and keep you in check.
We just want to make sure people are acknowledging the slow zone, skiing in control.
Also, your day is filled with this kind of energy. And then there's NSP, or National Ski Patrol.
Well, we do everything that the paid staff or the Pro Patrol does.
That's all volunteers, working mostly on the weekends.
We put in 18 what we call golden days a year.
Eric Brittingham heads Bachelor's NSP.
Most of us probably are up at 5 in the morning, and we're up here by 7 at the latest.
He's been donating his time to mountain communities for 14 years, spending winters aiding other mountain enthusiasts. It is a commitment, not even just being on NSP, but to get there.
The last couple of years, we've had over 100 people express interest. By the time we get to actual outdoor emergency transportation with the toboggan training, which we're going on right now, we're down to 9.
One coming.
An attrition rate of roughly 90% for people who want to patrol without pay.
It dwindles down pretty quickly.
The steep drop-off, partly because of the time commitment.
It's a long process, but we turn out a really good product.
It takes 2 ski seasons of training before you're voted onto NSP.
Good cross. Push down the handles. Good.
And that is if you pass all the tests along the way.
Keep it in control. We're not trying to break any records on the speed chart.
We joined current candidates for their toboggan training.
Oh, this group is strong.
Led by Bachelor's NSP candidate training director, Dave Smith.
It's just all balance, edging, skills that we instill in them to be confident to be able to do their patrolling duties.
This takes up many of their February weekends and starts with a humbling test of the basics.
It's been somewhat eye-opening because I think of myself being an expert skier.
NSP hopeful candidate Kenny Jarman says he was tested on drills.
I probably hadn't practiced since I was in, grade school.
Then they work with an empty sled, learning how to maneuver it on the slopes and off the lift. Dave intentionally putting them in challenging terrain to try and most closely represent reality.
We don't know where we're going to have to respond out there.
They train for the toboggan to slide out of position and fail along the way.
We're going to give you some constructive criticism as we go along.
Every struggle setting them up for a real-life scenario. Patrollers, candidates, even Central Oregon Daily videographer Steve Kaufman taking turns playing injured rider.
I'm from Bend, and so I grew up skiing here.
It's a role NSP candidate Sarah Curran knows well. A couple of years ago, she was in the sled, not pulling it. A skiing accident left her injured and ultimately inspired to join the forces who helped her.
I think it's a gift to get to take care of people and help people in a time of need while getting to do something you're passionate about, all while on my home mountain.
Those who pass toboggan will spend 6 months doing outdoor emergency care medical training.
Drop into the fall line.
Next year, they'll patrol with a mentor where they'll get more day-to-day experience. While many think patrollers focus primarily on injury response,
Our motto is, if it's black and orange, we want to touch it every single day.
as the head of Pro Patrol, DT, explains, much of what they do is assessing conditions and getting the mountain ready to open.
We want to make sure that all of our rope lines are visible and get reset, and they're scattered throughout the mountain. We have on-hill signage that we put in position so that people traveling across the hill can be best informed about what to expect.
If the candidates survive that final mentoring stretch, they'll be voted onto NSP near the end of the season. They'll join the ranks of others who've spent decades helping on the slopes.
I've been patrolling for 22 years.
Both the volunteers, like Dave and Eric,
If people have smiles on their faces and are hooping and hollering, we did a good job getting the mountain going.
and the paid patrol, like DT. The two units working in tandem towards the same mission.
Move on to the next one.
Give you the best mountain experience and have some fun along the way.
When we're coming up and we're, the sun's rising up over like past Bend and, out to the east, like you're getting to ski around on the mountain with your best friends, and it's a really special environment to be a part of.
The newest recruits already realizing this effort, it's gonna bring them more than a nice new red jacket.
I knew that this would be joining a whole community of people, but I didn't realize how close you would get with those people.
I can already see that it's going to make, for lifetime friendships.
And another element that many may not know is that it's not just Alpine Ski Patrol, there's also Nordic and Aid Room Ski Patrol teams, which have a little bit different training processes. But David, I was fascinated when I learned that it takes essentially two full ski seasons
had no idea.
for those who want to be on the volunteer ski patrol to earn that coat. It's not until their third winter where they're on their own for an entire season as certified national ski patrol. So it is a lengthy and intensive process, but really the goal is that those people who make it through, they're the most qualified.
They're the best of the best.
The most passionate about mountain safety. So that's the end goal.
Had no idea that much went into it, I mean, just as a recreational skier, you're going around going, hey, someday, maybe one winter, I'll just do this. And take advantage of the benefits.
That's exactly what I thought.
How about the Pro Patrol? Is that training just as lengthy?
So that's more of a normal full-time job, right? So the training is going to be more condensed, more intensive, and that's because those people work winters, summers. So yeah, it does take a few months, but it is not the multi-year process. And I did actually just learn today that the two candidates we interviewed, Kenny and Sarah, they both did pass their toboggan training.
Good.
So they are moving on to the medical training. That's the next portion, which is 6 months long.
Right. As I told you, that toboggan training would have me doing this all the way down the mountain.
Yes, it would. Oh, man, it was crazy to watch.